Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of Trials and Trebuchets. I am your Dungeon Master, Luke, and joining me, as each week he joins me and they join me, the rest of the cast joins me, as they join me, is...
Howdy y'all, this is Ben here, and I'll be playing the level 4 gnome wizard, Windsor Wallaby, in addition to his cuddly little pet and friend, Mr. Wiggles. Straight and simple.
Integrity Addleberry, a level 4 tiefling rogue walks in with her newfound nine-tailed squirrel stuffed friend. Oh hey, it's me, Carla.
Oh, we're going experimental. I love it. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 4 half-elf bard, visiting Patter, losing its skee ball, trying to tell if Artis is evil.
It's Budge Ball.
Cast me in Hamilton too. Yeah,
It's
but just
Budge
mine.
Ball.
Hamilton
It's
2,
Budge
Electric
Ball.
Boogaloo.
Hamilton 2.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We're sorry.
Who are you?
Hamilton.
My name is
Can we stop the podcast?
Okay, continue.
My name is Sam, and I play Serenep Cinderman, a level 4 human sorcerer. And I swear Patter is not a cult. Wink, wink. Side note, I've handed over my introduction crown to Sarah, so it should be in the mail and arriving soon.
I might have to ship it back though. That's good.
Last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students met Yona, the supermarket greeter of Patter, who took the kids to the Hall of Fun in order to play Budge Ball and Air Bladder Popping, which are incredibly fun for some and intensely unfair for the rest. Unfortunately, the students were separated from their mentor, who went to meet with Emperor Chief Korka for a pronto, on as soon as you arrive, impromptu meeting. It's very important to the running of Patter that these meetings occur the way they do, and that these kids have some entertainment while their chaperone is busy.
Okay, wait, Luke, do you wanna
That was a mouthful of an intro.
Do you wanna
Holy
go back
shit.
in there and wanna say that again, please?
Artis is having tea and crumpets with Emperor Chief Korka.
This place is a
We don't know
goddamn
that.
cult.
The rest of you are traveling with your friend Yona,
That's not my friend.
6'6", light orange earth elemental in the city of Patter, and earth elemental city on the plane of Isithil, where you all are to investigate a source of great earth elemental magic that was detected by your mentor Artis. You're currently being escorted to the wishing well through this quasi-abandoned city. It seems like there's shops and houses here and there that don't have, that are abandoned or are just decrepit, almost crumbling, right? Almost like they got destroyed. But then there's other houses that are just perfectly fine, and you can see actual people inside them, or at least hear noise coming from people living inside them. They look lived in still, but that's in the minority.
When you say people, are we seeing like lizard things or other elementals? Who lives here that we're seeing?
From the most part, you see elementals. You see a few of them as you approach the city center. The Hall of Fun was kind of on the outskirts of this little cavern, near one of the walls. Whereas the Wishing Well seems to be in the center of town. And as you approach the center of town, it starts to get a bit more densely populated. You see some actual elementals walking in the streets. Again, it also has been probably an hour at this point, so maybe it's just that folks are waking up instead of it being abandoned. Although there are definitely some abandoned buildings about, but you do not see... do you see any blue lizards walking about? Why, happenstance, you do. Right before, or you arrive in the small square at the center of town, at the center of this cavern, and there in the middle is your stereotypical well. It's just a little stone circle, these orange stones, different colors, different shades, with a small wooden cover over the top and a bucket hanging there. Made of stone. The bucket's made of stone, obviously.
Of course.
What is wood?
And Yona is going to say to you, well, we've arrived here at the Wishing Well. And then as they take another breath, 3 or 4, let's say 3 3 of these 5-foot tall blue and white lizards kind of come over, and they're like, "Hey, Yona, hey, Yona, hey," and like they're kind of like heckling at them. And she kind of like looks at you, and you see the instantaneous dash of fear across her face for like the briefest millisecond. I think most of you, except for Mira, are kind of like watching for this at this point. I think Mira, you said that you were taking them at face value, but the rest of you are kind of like watching for the cracks in the facade, and that you definitely see this one. And your tour guide is going to say, "1 second, kids. Let me deal with these troublemakers, and I'll be right back with you." And she kind of very quickly rushes over towards them, and they scatter into an alley, or not scatter, but they rush into an alleyway, and she follows them.
I turn to the others and I'm like, we're following her, right?
Do we have to?
But she said to stay here.
Look, there has been shady shit going on ever since we walked into the city, and I, for one, am not going to stand around and let whatever's happening here get to me. So I'm going to go follow her.
As you're having this conversation
okay.
in a small semicircle, from an adjacent alley, a blue head pops out of the shadows and goes, "Come over here, quickly," and like holds out like a small piece of paper.
I'm going to insight check this.
Absolutely.
Who is this random person? This is the most I've ever used an insight check.
It's
Who
one of
is
these.
this random
This one's
friend?
like a dark blue with like even darker, almost like navy black eyes.
I got a
so
21.
Does
they
he
don't-
look worried or like?
Yes, deep brow furrow. You got a 21, Sarah?
Yep.
They definitely want you to go over there, and they are incredibly fearful. You can see like their hands shaking. You can see like the worried look on their face.
I'm gonna
I go
go.
over.
I really
Absolutely. They go, "Keep don't tell her," and then they hand you the note and sprint back into the shadows of the alleyway.
I'm going to quickly...
Hey, wait! What are you talking about?
They run, and they run around
Nothing?
a corner.
Okay.
Can I-
You have this small
Cool,
folded
bye.
note in your hands.
I'm going to unfold it and look at it.
Absolutely.
Sound effects. I love it.
So,
Wait.
the note is written on a crisp piece of parchment in a dark brown ink. Very unsaturated colors for such a lovely, bright place. And it says, "Meet behind the Soft Walker's shoe store. Do not bring the Inquisitor. Come alone and come quickly." And it is signed Blub.
The Inquisitor. I don't like the sounds of that.
I don't think we've met anyone named the Inquisitor.
What language is it in?
Common.
Okay.
While this is happening, I'm just gonna go over and look at the well.
Absolutely. It's very short. You can easily look over it. This is a tripping hazard if you've ever seen one, Winsler. This is a no-go for public safety and infrastructure stability. Like, this should be demolished. This should not exist in this prosperous city.
Can like the top of it come off so I can like peer under to see what's there?
Oh, there's not even top, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's like one of those, there's like the little raised roof on it.
Oh, okay.
But the actual well itself, it's only like 1.5 feet. Like the edge of it is only like 1.5 feet tall.
Okay.
Like you could
So
very
like Snow
easily
White's well.
you could easily stumble and fall into this well. And like someone taller than you, no
Yeah.
problem. Like it might not be a big issue for the elementals because they're very large, and like the well is fairly tiny, so it doesn't look like one of them could fit down here. But for like common folks such as yourselves from another plane of existence, this is definitely a hazard.
Okay.
Looking over, if you wanted to be so bold
Yes.
to peer over, it's a moderately deep well. It probably drops about 20 feet into the ground. Like not super great for as far, it's not super deep as far as wells go. It's not like a 400-foot deep well. And at the bottom, you see glints of metal in the little aquamarine pool.
Yeah.
It's kind of clear, actually, and you can see some water dripping along the edges of the circular pit. Just from the stone going into this pool.
I'm gonna walk back out from the alleyway. I have the parchment tucked into this I took the paper under my
Yep.
cloak, and where my shirt is, I tuck it into the side part?
There's like plentiful pockets on the inside of your poncho. Don't you
Okay.
worry.
I put in there and I head over.
These were made for hiding secret stuff.
We specifically knew when we came here that we would have secret things happening. We got this. But I come back out to the group, and as I'm walking towards them briskly, I look around this main center area to see if there is a shop that has the name, the Soft Walker Shoe Store.
No, you don't currently see that. You are in like more of a residential district. It's very prim and proper with nice pebble lawns and such. So you don't see the store. Although if you went back to the market district, I'm sure you would be able to find it pretty easily. Not many things are labeled in common, especially. So like it's a very narrow list of places that you're like, yeah, it's probably right around there, right?
Yeah.
But as you are contemplating, you see Yona walk back hurriedly from the alleyway, which she had ran down, and she walks over to the four of you and goes, "Oh, where were we, kids? So this is the wishing well. It was built by our great emperor chief Korka, 200 years ago.
Hey, what happened back there?
Oh, just some hooligans. They love to play pranks and bother me sometimes.
Did you deal with them?
Okay.
I dealt with them as much as saying, hey, knock it off, I'm in the middle of giving a tour, but nothing as severe as I'm sure you're imagining.
I'm gonna insight
Could we
check
insight?
her.
Girly.
Yeah, let's
Absolutely.
all insight check that
Me
shit.
too.
Yeah, actually, same. Like, obviously, at this point,
Yes.
there's some sketchy shit
I'm
going
to
on.
inside check.
Well, that's a 1.
Mira, she's good.
That's a 3.
She's very
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I got an 18.
Okay.
I got a 19.
Damn.
I got 21.
Dang.
Fuck. Okay. There's... Let me roll a die.
Oh.
Let me play the game, guys.
Yes.
Boy.
You know when the DM plays a game, bad shit's happening.
Winsler. There seems to be some major... you seem to have some issues with this story that you're being told. It doesn't quite add up. Like, why would this person get flustered and run after these people if there's nothing more to it? Like, it doesn't quite make complete sense. You've only seen 6 of these newts around. She obviously was flustered earlier and didn't want to talk about who they were, and very quickly transitioned to here's the Hall of Fun. This time very quickly wants to transition away from it. It's very clear to see that there's something more than meets the eye going on here that Yona does not want you to know about.
Okay. I have a plan, everybody. So I want y'all to play along.
Okay.
Okay. You got it?
Are you telling us this?
Yeah.
Mind powers.
So I'll like pipe up and be like, could you give us just a second there before we move on?
Oh, absolutely. I'll just, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna put Mr. Wiggles on the ground, and while we're huddled in a circle, Mr. Wiggles is just gonna stare as to prevent butting in
Okay.
like a ward.
Yona just kind of like stares down
Like
at
a
the
guard
cat,
cat.
and is like making eyebrows and like faces like, oh, hi, how are you?
Ew.
So I'm getting
And it's
really-
standing like probably like 7 feet away, just
Yeah.
standing there.
So I'm getting really bad vibes from this. I don't
Guys.
seem to like where we are.
I got a note.
What's the note say?
They ask us to meet them behind.
Oh, from the thing that ran away?
Yes. From the Soft Walker Shoe Store. But we have to get rid of her first.
Okay, obviously this is weird. How are we supposed to dish her, though?
I think I have a plan, and it involves that whale. So
Okay.
What are we gonna...
I think if y'all play along, I think it could work.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, shoot,
Plan
go.
initiated. Go. I'm gonna cut the circle, and
Okay.
I'm gonna happily walk up to our tour guide here, and excuse me, could you tell us more about
Yes.
this well?
Absolutely.
Could we get in? Could we get in real close to get a little bit more?
Well, I was planning. Oh well. Oh, isn't that good?
I hate
I
her
was
so
planning on,
much.
and they pull out a small little pouch and hand you each they're like hold out 4 little gold nuggets, and they go, I was planning on letting you all throw a little gold in the well and say a little wish, in your heads. Of course, if you say it out loud, everyone in Patter and for the rest of the world soon enough will know that the wish won't come true. But just throw that little gold nugget in there, and oh boy howdy, it'll come right true.
Well, could you?
And you gotta stand right up on the edge of it. Yeah.
Well, could you give us a demonstration?
Oh, absolutely. But I don't have a 5th nugget.
Oh, you can have mine.
Oh, well, that would be absolutely no fun.
Don't worry. I have an extra one here, and I quickly conjure up a little tiny coin.
Oh.
If it worked for Tim, it'll work for you.
Make a deception check with advantage, please.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. It still works.
I'm a conjuration wizard, just for little rocks and orbs, though.
Okay.
But that's where I excel.
Orb wizard.
That was a 16.
A 16. Oh, well, if you insist, I guess. If it'll make the tour more fun for you guys, absolutely.
It would be so
Very
fun.
fun.
And they grab it out of your hand and they go, well, you just walk up to the well like this, and then your head go, man, I really wish for this. And right now I'm wishing for something in my head, and then and they turn their back to you and face the well.
Okay, Okay, let's see. What do I have? Okay, so, are you ready? Are you ready for
arms?
this? I am going to cast my new spell, Alter Self.
Oh.
So, I am going to go with the option Natural Weapons.
Okay.
So, I'm going to take off my hat with the crown, and as I'm casting the spell, ram horns appear on my head.
Oh, this is very good, Winsler.
And I'm just gonna line up straight with their back and charge them.
Absolutely, make that attack roll.
So good. I love it.
Okay, that's not bad. Let's see. That's a 17?
Let me check.
Oh no. I
What
know.
number you get?
I got 17.
If it doesn't work, I have a plan B.
Me too. If that doesn't work.
17?
Yeah.
So, you kind of like pull off your hat. You have these curled ram's horns, and you kind of get a running start. Huffing and puffing, you hit Yona as they go. And then you just throw, and then as they say, throw, you just knock them face forward down into the well, and they go, throw! And you hear a large splash come from the bottom, and like 15 or so people that have been like minding their business in this central like square kind of look at you, right at you, and then everyone scatters, like running for their homes.
Now everybody run! Make a break!
Okay,
He's gone
go
before.
back.
Okay.
Go back to the merchant district, I guess.
Absolutely. Like I said, you can very easily rattle off like, oh, it's not that place, not that place, not that place. All right, we got it. There's a small shoe store. It's like a little, it's almost like a porcelain pot that's been flipped upside down. That's like the kind of style, like one of those very typical flower pots. That's kind of like the shape of this store. And there's a small elemental out front sitting on the ground cross-legged, and before them are 2 pairs of wonderful shoes, and they look up at you and go, do you want to buy my shoes?
We're a little occupied.
Oh.
Terribly sorry, we were just passing by.
They're real cheap. Give them to you 50% off.
No, I think we're good. We really need to be somewhere real fast.
I've never seen a group of meat folk run around without a supervisor. You sure y'all are in the right spot?
He's just dealing with some stuff.
We better get to the right spot. That's a very good point. See you later.
Thank you.
And they kind
Wonderful
of like
shoes.
look at you and go, and then like, you're not worth the effort. And as you guys kind of like skirt around behind this building, you see a very light blue colored they're like, again, this 5 foot tall, bipedal, upright newt, and they look at you up and down, and they go, "Were you the one that was chosen?
I was.
The 4 that were chosen?
Is this?
For what?
Do you have the note?"
I
Oh yeah,
I say,
yeah.
what title do you go by?
I am Blub.
I take out the note.
Excellent. Give it here, fast. There can be no evidence of this.
I hand it to him.
And he breathes like this blue fire from his mouth and burns it up in his hands. And he goes,
Cool.
"You 4 outsiders, if I'm not mistaken, and I know I'm not, so don't be smart. If you couldn't tell, there's a bit of a problem about in town."
You
I mean, yeah.
Cult thing?
Yeah. What's up with everything?
Korka, the former chief, has given himself the title of Emperor and is reputedly, according to our intelligence, attempting to expand his territory, maybe upgrade his title from 19th eldest to 18th, 17th. We're not sure how far it goes. I am Blub, lieutenant of the Root Newts.
Oh my god.
We
Oh
were
my God.
hired here to replace the previous treasonous Root Smasher. I'm unsure of their current whereabouts, but I do hope that they made it out alive. It was all kind of a cover, though. We came in here to investigate Korka, and we got caught. So we've been kind of fighting in the shadows against his inquisition, against his tyranny here in Pater. He cannot be allowed to expand his territory. It will be ruinous for the forest.
Well, what could we do?
So the guides and everything, that's all him.
Yes.
Like, making a good image, all that
Yes,
stuff?
that's his attempt to convey to the other planes that everything is going perfectly fine. Was it just you 4 upon your arrival, or were there more of you?
I was about to ask, is our professor who was taken by them safe?
Is he a skilled individual? What is your purpose here? Was it...
We were just...
We wanted.
Sorry.
Go. Go.
We were simply here on an assignment with our professor in the school to look for large amounts of earth elemental magic.
This newt kind of nods up and like its head up and down and goes, "That tracks. Yes, that would be that. I think all signs point to Korka. If that's the case, and your mentor would willingly tell Korka this, he could very well be in grave danger, if not already incarcerated.
Okay, if he were incarcerated, where would he be?
He would be on layer 5, the detention level.
How would we get there? Without, also getting incarcerated, which might actually happen because we did push our guide into
Sorry
a
about
well.
that.
And they look incredibly worried. And they go, "Who was your guide?"
Yana?
Wasn't...
Yuna?
Yana.
Yona.
And they just kind of like stop and look at you all and go, and like shake their head back and forth in like disbelief. And they look at them and go, they look at you and go, "You've just pushed the head of the Inquisition into a well?"
I mean,
Yes?
I didn't know how else we were going to get away.
Mind you, at the moment, we
Well.
thought she was a tour guide.
Oh, what a clever ruse. Well,
It was a trick.
I was
deceived you.
going to wait and see if you were loyal to our cause, but I suppose you have no choice at this point, or else you risk your lives at the hand of Inquisitor. Will you join us in our attempts to overthrow, usurp this fool Korka and his Inquisition?
I suppose, yeah.
Yes.
We
We
have already
like
got
sworn
ourselves-
our allegiance
Yeah.
by,
For the safety of
Need our
everyone,
mentor
yes.
back.
like corkscrew headbutting this this like tour guide into a well with ram's horns.
I just want to say that I just wanted to illusion the idea that we were running the opposite way. I didn't think we were going that far.
Oh.
We can just say that we were playing around. You were trying to be like, like,
Oh no,
You're
I'm gonna
like,
push you.
yeah, yeah, and there was an accident, you know? Like, you're just showing us your new skill
Yeah.
or your
and
new magic,
Yeah, it's like
and
this
you
cool new
accidentally
spell like
pushed
that.
them because the horns were heavy.
I haven't practiced this magic in a while, and I haven't cast the spell once before, so...
I would be careful. That lie might save you, the three of you, but your fate is sealed, my small, hatted friend. A beautiful crown, by the way. I must make a note.
Oh,
A
I
beautiful
want
crown.
it at the
What
Hall
if
of
there's a
Fame.
tracking
Oh.
device in the crown?
Oh, yes. It's very likely, in all honesty.
Guys, I think we
Um,
have to get rid of the prizes. I'm sorry, Integrity, but
Oh no!
it's either the prize or our safety.
You could always leave them here in this handy crate right behind this shoe store
We could do that.
and just
That is
come
very
back for
convenient.
them after this is all blown over and everything goes all right and no
Really
one is
takes-
harmed and the city is fine and everything is good in the world once more and Korka has been eliminated.
While the
Now, see,
message
that's in a
itself is
perfect
great,
world.
the way you said it makes me a little bit worried.
I'm just a very optimistic fellow. No need to read into the situation.
Terribly sorry.
Yeah, that's also what Yona said, and I feel like now when people say, like, oh, no need to read into it, that is maybe not a good sign.
Astute.
Maybe.
Very astute.
At this point, you've been
I
acting
would
more
be-
natural
if-
than her.
If you want to keep travel with these tokens of happiness on your person, I would be very careful. But I would recommend leaving them here in this crate for your protection
this
and
crate
for
specifically?
ours. Well, any crate, as long as you remember which crate. I'm just suggesting this one because it's in the scene.
I think it's best if we leave them here, just so that if there is something on them,
Probably.
it won't be tracked.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
I take my trophy and my beloved nine-tailed squirrel.
Good thing you didn't name it,
Yeah.
huh? Too much of an emotional attachment.
Damn.
So I put it in the crate, but before I put my nine-tailed squirrel in, I kiss it.
Okay.
I
It's
will.
a squirrel. It's stuffed. Sorry, there's no magic here.
Oh.
I will take off the Bergie crown from my hat and put the trophy in the crate. But I want to walk up to Integrity and like look up and say, "Well, if things don't go as planned, then you don't get your blue squirrel. I could try and make one up again when we get back. It might take a while, but I could make one."
You would do that for me, Winsler?
He nods, and Mr. Wiggles like nods like, "Yeah, he would."
Thanks. Thanks. I would love that.
Well, after this touching farewell, I need something of the four of you.
And that is...
If you have already declared yourself against the Inquisition, I doubt you'd be averse to breaking into their headquarters and stealing some stuff back for us.
Quite.
Now, as you see it, we have only 6 root newts left in operational.
How many were you?
37.
Holy fuck.
Damn.
12 of ours have been slain. The rest are in primary holding in the Inquisition headquarters. Along with all of our Revolution flyers, which, before you say, what a useless thing, they're all enchanted to help the civilians of this city escape. So, they're very important. You can get one or the other. I would prefer if you got both. Is that good for you?
Good enough for me.
So it's not like actually stealing so much as like rescuing. Because when you said go in and steal stuff, okay,
liberating. They was stolen from us when our hideout was raided last week.
Why do you need us to do it? Why can't you do it yourself?
We're recuperating. We're high-profile targets. You see the blue newt skin, and you just slice them up. That's the Inquisition for you.
I turn to the group and I say, look, I have already said that from the very beginning of us getting here, I have had an off feeling. I point to, Blub. Wait, sorry. Yeah, Blub.
Blub.
And I say, this is the first thing here that has made the most sense to me, and I'm going with it.
Hell yeah.
I guess, but
Viva
it's
la
like-
revolution!
I get that, and I support it in theory, but it's also kind of like, you know, we're showing up to a foreign city and then doing a coup that we don't have that much stake in that might get us killed. So I'm not saying we shouldn't, but we should just be like a little bit careful, because they did say that like a whole bunch of them were killed. And these are like actual soldiers, so we should just maybe be
I'm not
cautious.
saying that we run in there.
Yes, lives are to be shed. Lives are going to be lost in this operation, but it is a necessary fact of revolutioning. We're pros at this. We've revolutioned in 12 different planes. This is child's play. But we did get wiped out, so I guess that's kind of in our faces.
Aren't there any more
yeah.
of you? Like, in a headquarters somewhere outside of Patter?
Our chieftain was taken captive and is currently down in the detention lair. So, unfortunately, we're unable to call for backup or reinforcements. If we were able to free our chieftain, Kezka, then we would be able to call for interplanar assistance.
I kind of want to like look Blub up and down and just try to assess how powerful Blub and by extension the other Rootnoots look in terms of like, okay, if if they were super buff and a bunch of them were
push
murdered,
comes to shove,
are we fucked? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's a.
Whereas if how deadly would this be for us?
Give me like either an insight. Yeah, give me an insight.
Okay. 7 + 2, so 9.
Okay. Blub looks to be about. You can definitely see like the toil of obviously 12 revolutions. Like they're scarred and beat up in places, but it's like they look definitely scrappy. Like they would not go down easily. As far as I guess the extension of that would be the rest of the newts also looked pretty like not very scrappy. Like the rest of the newts looked pretty weak.
Fresh meat.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we just run in there. Obviously, we have to have a plan and we have to be sneaky about what we do to keep ourselves safe as well as everyone else. But I am saying that I don't feel comfortable just standing by and doing nothing while this is happening.
I get that. So what can you tell us about the detention level?
It's under heavy lockdown. It's the layer beneath the Imperial layer, where Korka makes his residence, and the Inquisition is typically hideout. There is a headquarters here on the primary level, the first layer, which is where our soldiers and the posters are being held, which is of utmost critical importance. Down in the detention layer, I'm afraid we do not have any intelligence on the operations there.
Nothing about like their security or
nothing. No single newt has made it out of there.
Okay.
We do know that the only way down is, from our knowledge, the central lift, the cage, which presents a pretty dangerous situation, seeing as it's not controlled by us. It's controlled by that guard up at the surface.
And is the guard, like, sympathetic? Could we, like...
Not to my knowledge, I do not think they are with the Inquisition, but I do believe they are a regular guard that existed prior to Korka's god complex.
I have an idea. I have disguised self. Maybe I or someone else could pretend to be our guide. We could go up there, be like, we need to go down there. Maybe, pretend that we got in trouble. Pretend that, like, we need to be detained. And then, that way, even if the guard isn't willing to just be like, okay, cool, revolutionaries, go ahead. We can still get there?
Absolutely.
I have something akin to that. It's another thing of this spell that I've been using. I want to attempt to show them this by... So the nice thing about Alter Self is that I can substitute one feature of it for another. So I'm going to use Change Appearance. So let's see. Transform your appearance, you decide what you look like, including your height, weight, facial features, sound of your voice, hair length, coloration, and distinguishing characteristics, if any. You can make yourself appear as a member of another race, though none of your statistics change. You also don't appear as a creature of a different size than you, and your basic shape stays the same. So, would it be possible to use this spell to transform into, like, a very small, like, earth elemental guard?
Absolutely. Can you describe to me what kind of guard you want to look like? What do you want to look like?
Okay, so I imagine it's sort of like a snowman, except it's like boulders. Yeah.
That's a good. What color rock do you want to be?
I would be like on the brighter side of orange.
Okay.
Because
what color eyes?
Gold.
Okay. Absolutely. Boop. No problemo. You see a little rock snowman in front of you. Where Winsler once stood, now stands rock.
Damn.
And Blub is gonna go, this could work. You four are quite ingenious. Good revolutionary spirit, the lot of you.
Also, I wanted to make it so that my voice sounds similar to, like, the big guy's voice, if he ever talked.
Oh, okay.
What was his voice?
Okay. Algots?
Oh, it was like a really big, deep voice.
And I said it sounded like rocks
And a Brooklyn
crashing
accent?
together.
Oh,
Was that a Brooklyn? Did I Brooklyn
Little
at the
bit.
end? Oh, heck.
this plan might
Oh,
work,
don't heck
friends.
No matter what you try, it's always fun.
Hey, I'm moving roots here.
Hey, I'm here to relieve you.
Aw, thanks, man. Forget about it.
So to be clear on the plan, you are going to go get lowered into the detention lair, infiltrate, free our leader, Kezka, and your mentor, should they be incarcerated. That was like a weird transatlantic voice that I just did.
I don't know where we are right now.
Should they be incarcerated.
Should they be imprisoned?
Yes.
And then with the reinforcements summoned by Kezka, we will infiltrate the headquarters and free our troops, and then march upon the Imperial quarters. Is that, to my best approximation, the plan?
Shit, yeah, I guess.
Just to clarify, which layer would our professor be?
Our level
Most
5.
likely.
If he was to be executed, the Imperial layer, 4th layer. If he was to be incarcerated, 5th layer. Detention
They would execute.
layer.
Oh my god.
If he posed a high enough threat. We think that our leader has been incarcerated due to the interplanar politics of the situation of executing such a person. Ideally, the same could be said for your mentor.
Yeah.
Hopefully the more politically minded of Korka's advisors can get through to him and counsel him against the execution of a member of an interplanar research expedition, such as your mentor. I cannot speak for the man myself, though. He might have... I have no idea. It's been the situation here has been deteriorating daily. It's been getting worse and worse. The man's paranoid. He's just throwing random people into prison at this point. He locked up his own daughter.
Jeez.
You can't really say
shit.
what's going to happen in the future. This is a important situation, and it must be dealt with swiftly.
Okay.
It sounds like time is. It sounds
Exactly.
like time. It sounds like time is of the essence. We should probably go, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do a revolution.
Yay!
If you manage to make it out,
But I thought we were gonna meet up.
yes. If you manage to get your way into and out of the detention lair, either with our leader or without, with your mentor or without, and if you escape successfully, meet us at the Spudsack Tavern and say the code words Root Newt. Root Newts for life.
Pretty on the nose code word.
Specifically, Root Newts for life.
Tunnel snakes rule.
Is that
Oh,
with the
God.
number 4
Life.
and the LYF?
I was literally
LYF.
just typing that in my notes.
I wrote that.
Oh my god.
Same.
walk in, talk to the barkeep, Root Newts for life, and they'll put you in touch with us by opening a door.
Great.
And then revolution.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Revolution.
Uh-huh.
Very well. Good luck. And he sprints away
Jesus.
very quickly.
Nice.
Like pit pat 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 pat, pitter patter, almost like that, but fast, into the darkness of these alleyways.
So where does he live?
We did not ask that question.
He lives
No,
in the
not
tavern.
like not him, but like the emperor. Like, where is it? Like, can we see the? Is it like an ornate kind of
Well, I mean-
building, like in the middle of?
Probably on his lair, right?
The
'Cause it's
seventh
like, there's an
layer,
imperial
the
layer, he said?
royal lever.
Does the map give any good
The
detail
fourth layer.
that Winslow has?
The
map.
what? Oh, the map Winslow has? No, unfortunately not. That is a surface
Got it.
level
Got it.
projection map.
Wow.
Sorry.
This is
Not as-
worthless.
I
Not
think we just have to
projection.
go to the elevator and tell him we want to go to this lair, and
Just be like, we
Well-
have
No.
some troublemakers here who need to be incarcerated.
If that doesn't work, then we can always just be like, I'm here to cover your shift. And then while he's gone, we'll just
I mean,
get on
do
and
both
go
at
down.
once. Foolproof.
Or you could pull a good old Winsler, push them down a
I
big
mean,
hole.
that was my
Why would I
other
do
idea
that?
for
There's
this
no,
one, at least.
it's like a 8-foot rock man. You think I can push him?
I mean, I can levitate.
if we with teamwork,
I can
True.
levitate things and then just kind of
So, as you're having this conversation, I presume you walk back into this.
No, we are whispering quietly
Oh,
to
yeah.
each other.
we're not
I
going
am
to
a rock-
dilly-dally.
Okay. I need group, except for Winsler, please provide me stealth checks as a group check.
Guys, if ever need
and
be,
4.
you guys can punch me
20.
so that it looks like I got into trouble, so that they will incarcerate me, if need be.
Integrity, like, showing that she's a fucking hard M.
Jeez.
I got a 17.
Intense.
17, 16,
20.
Nice.
20. Oh, you rolled a 16 plus 4?
Yeah.
Fuck. Bards.
I'm doing
Shit.
math. 23.
Okay. Like the night, the four of you make your way to the central, or not the central, like the elevator, like the lift. Walking around, you see that there's like no one in the streets whatsoever now. Or at least you don't run into anyone, I should say.
Do we
And you manage to make it to the lift, and it's up top, like it's above you a couple 100 feet on the surface, like the cage. How would you like to proceed?
Is there anybody around?
There's a single guard standing there. They're probably about 7 feet tall, a dark burnt cheese
Ew.
colored, with like these dark red eyes, and they're holding a large polearm, and they look at you and go,
Hail.
Hail! I'm here to relieve you.
What? Oh, I just started 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're changing shifts like crazy today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay.
and they kind of bewildered leave.
Okay.
Easy as that.
Okay.
when you deal with stone rock people, they ain't
I
smart.
guess. So,
I'm sorry. Hey, audience, who's gonna criticize me for being like, make them roll? No.
okay, I'm just gonna... is there any lever around?
No, unfortunately not.
What do you all think? I can, like...
Well, what was the mechanism when we came down? Like,
There was like a winch on the surface that the surface guard cranked to lower you.
So we have.
when we look up, do we see a surface guard?
Yep, you see him standing there.
Oh, probably just call him,
Yeah.
right? Like, hey, dude, pull it down.
Hey! Dude!
Your voice echoes around, and you hear back down, like over the splashing of like thousands of tons of water falling in, and you just hear this, hey, dude, just
Hey,
echoing.
dude! Can you
And then
lower the
you
cage,
see-
dude?
You see this large elemental walk over the edge and go, what?
Can you lower the cage?
Oh, yeah, sure. Why don't you use the hand signals? Like, we got taught. Are you
Yeah, I'm
new?
new. They didn't really teach me this stuff yet.
Oh, man. After they let go of trainer Jim, they really let the training program go to hell here. And you see them walk over and start cranking the lift, and it descends to your level. And you hear them yell, "You're going down?
Yeah,
You're coming
I'm
up.
going down.
You got those meat
Yeah,
folks,
we got some problems. They're coming with me.
Oh, treasonous infidels or something.
Like,
let us go, you
I
fascist
didn't do
pig!
anything wrong.
Oh, wow. Be careful. They're all way bigger than you.
Don't worry.
And they're not wearing any chains or anything.
They're nice people, as far as I can tell.
Okay. Good luck. It's down to the Imperial level? For, like, some beheadings?
No, the fifth one.
Oh, straight to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail.
Okay.
Okay, everyone get on board.
See you later in the guard room. You seem like a real cool fellow.
Yeah, see you. Maybe we could play some cards later.
Yeah, you read my mind, dude.
too.
All right, take her easy.
See ya later, dude.
And then he cranks the lift, and you all descend.
That was the worst time of my life.
That was the best!
I am no longer
you were really convincing.
I am no longer a rock man.
Oh my god.
Oh, you really think I did real good there?
You did.
Yeah, they were so
You did
convincing.
amazing.
I felt very weird when I did that.
You can win a Ross car.
What?
A rock scar.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, you're making me regret that there was no as a third fun activity. Yana should have taken you to a rock concert.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
But it's just
Is it just like
sitting on the
3
floor.
different sizes of boulders that just don't
a
move?
single elemental just cracking rocks together.
I would have done it, honestly.
I would just imagine it's
retcon. You saw a street performer cracking 2 rocks together, and Yana said, "Oh, do you like the rock music that we're making here in Patter? It's a staple."
I would just imagine it's like the Holy Grail, where it's just instead of 2 coconuts, it's just 2 rocks.
2 rocks, just crack, crack, crack. Not even to a beat, just
Crack,
chaos.
crack.
You guys are descending on a lift. What's the game plan,
Oh my
y'all?
god.
Guns blazing.
Pretend to be prisoners,
Yeah.
figure out, last minute,
Okay.
storm it, see if we can find
People.
our prof, I guess.
Is it possible to act as a prisoner, but also have my squall prepared in case? Is it possible?
It depends on how good of a stealth check you can make.
Should I risk it?
As the lift descends and you see before you, instead of seeing a large cavern like you saw in layer 1, now layer 2 similar, like it seems to be a residential layer, I should describe. Layer 3 is a small stone door with these bright orange, it's like these bright orange doors that are being guarded by 2 rather large earth elementals. Layer 3 has an even more intense, like it's a huge, giant ornate door, foolishly sized. This is the Imperial layer, and it has probably 12 guards lining the small bridge across to the the door. And then you descend past that as they all kind of look at you and watch you drop. And then you get to layer 5 and it stops, and you see a single guard, and he's just sitting with his back to the wall, and he's throwing little pebbles down over the edge. And beside him is a dark passage into the rock face.
You look sad.
And he looks up at you all and goes, "What's your business down here, meat folk?"
You look a little sad there. What are you doing throwing the pebble over the cliff?
"Oh, just passing the time, waiting for my shift change to happen."
Oh, your shift change?
Yep.
Oh, well.
They're kind of running late at this point, kind of disappointed.
Well, there was a nice guy a few floors up. He had to go do something, and he told us just go and lock yourselves up real nice and pretty. You know?
Absolutely.
He should be
Let
he
me,
should be here to
yeah,
shift change
absolutely.
soon. So we're just gonna go in and lock ourselves up nice and tight. Okay.
Make a fucking persuasion check.
But I thought these are dumb rocks.
Okay, Okay, some of this can go off, like saying it's shift change to a dude with like 6 intelligence, sure. But like saying, yeah, we're gonna lock ourselves up in this maximum security prison, that's a new level.
I mean, that's a 10.
A 10.
Back me up here, guys.
Oh, I'm going to take out my my rope of climbing, and I'm going to wrap it around us, right?
Oh
like,
my god.
Oh, okay.
And then I will let us. I can move it, right? Like I can.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it like pull us, like to the where the.
Curse you and your rock
Okay.
person magic.
Oh no,
I'm
we're trapped.
gonna use my mage hand.
Wow.
Wait, yeah, and I'm gonna use my mage hand to be pulling us like with a rope.
my
Yeah.
God.
Curse you
I'll
and your
be like,
new
oh my
security
gosh.
protocol. You've trapped us.
Wow, the greatest city in the world even has the greatest prison
I'm
in the
gonna do that.
world.
Oh my
This
God.
is amazing.
So I made the insight check at disadvantage because of this great theatrical display. The first roll was a 14, -3. Second roll was a 2. So that's a -1.
Oh my god, he's into
so
this.
this guard is gonna go as soon as you start wrapping yourselves up in rope. He goes, "Oh, well, it looks like situation's all covered here. Go on in. Cell should be open on the left.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Are we all
It was
just...
nice to meet you.
Have a good stay." And to describe this guard as well, they are just like orange. They don't have any gold venation.
I will mention
gold eyes or
that
anything.
everyone else is way taller than me, so when you're rapping, my face is stuck.
Okay,
It's gonna be around your neck.
I'd like to keep it on, please.
I'm gonna like.
on your forehead.
Um,
So it's just like a little spot.
Okay,
Yeah.
would it be horrible if I just like just kind of so that he wasn't wrapped by the
Picked him
face?
So he's just being carried now, like feet off the ground. Okay,
Just so you
this
don't
is
get
great.
smothered in the rope, I
Um,
tell Winsler.
So the 4 of you walk in line forwards into the dark hallway. It's very dimly lit and very cool down here. Near to the surface, it's very warm. It's very humid here in the plain of Isithil, but down here it seems to be cool and damp, and you can feel like the condensation against the floor of the cavern. And as you walk, I assume you want to unbind yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm going to unbind.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
once it's clear, like
you've-
once he's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. He's just sitting there throwing rocks. And you find yourselves at a crossroads. To the right is cells, darkness. You don't really hear anything. To the left is also cells and darkness, and you don't hear anything overly. To the left, you feel a cold, like it's very cold to the left. Like you can feel like a cold breeze coming from that way. For lack of a better explanation.
Oh, it's probably cold over there, like uncomfortable, so that's probably where they keep the political prisoners,
It's a
right?
freezer.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Put him
There's
on
4
ice.
of us, and there's 2 paths. We could split up and
Split
search
the
both ways faster.
party. Oh boy. Well, I mean, we've gotten this far without disguises.
I have a, okay, if we're gonna do this, I have
Okay.
a proposition. Winsler has a spell to disguise himself. I have a spell to disguise
I can
myself.
disguise myself
So we
too.
should be in different groups. Oh, awesome. Even easier. Well, actually, that's not easier because that doesn't give an easy line through us to split it, but it's easier in the sense of a
I
prison
have
break.
invisibility
Yeah.
and minor illusion. That's about as much as I can offer in this point.
Wow.
Oh.
You don't have dark vision either. This must be rough.
Oh.
I mean, I cast
Oh,
light on like
I
the end of
can-
like
yeah.
my staff thing, and then I'm fine.
No, I can disguise self into like a guard, and then I can be like bringing you to there. What?
I
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
So Integrity and Sereneph, and then Winsler and Mira.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
maybe you guys can like disguise self into like actual guards, so that they will never like ask questions. Maybe we never know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do we have a way of contacting each other? Because, like, okay, we split up. One of us finds Artis, or one of us finds like the flyers, or whatever. How are we gonna notify each other?
I have message.
Don't you have to point at someone
That's
for
true,
message
yeah.
to work?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense than my idea.
What was your idea?
My idea is far more painful, I think.
Oh no.
What is
It doesn't provide communication, but it lets me know where you are
What is it?
for at least an hour.
Uh,
Mind spike.
Oh. That's kind of
Oh.
brutal, man.
If
How about I psychologically torture you so that I know where you are?
I know what we could do. An easy way. Mr. Wiggles could go with somebody so that
Oh.
So you with your psychic bond, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Is there a limit to the distance
It's
on that?
within 100 feet,
Oh, okay.
but that gives us something
100
at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If anything, if push comes to shove, Wiggles can just sprint back if danger happens.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Although I guess the reverse isn't exactly great. I guess Winsler, if danger happened to you guys, you would have to run back and get in range of Wiggles.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the
Yep.
plan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you disguising yourselves?
Disguise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't need to if he's already a rock, because then I can be a prisoner, right?
I think Winsler was not a rock.
No, I was.
Oh, he's not a
I
rock
was
anymore.
not a rock when we were on the elevator.
Yeah, he
Oh, I'll
dropped
be
it
a
in the
rock.
elevator.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right, because we were locking ourselves up. I'll be a rock.
Okay.
I'll disguise myself.
Integrity and Mira, what do y'all look like in rock form?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Almost exactly like the very first guard that we saw.
Okay.
I'm
Like
just
the one
like-
on the very surface?
Yeah. I'm just
Okay.
basing myself pretty much off of this guy.
Okay.
I'm going to. So is the person on top like a rock formation as well, or like a
Rock formation. Are they a geologic formation?
like a
Are we
like,
at
like a
Stonehenge?
earth elemental
Created
as well, like a rock?
An elemental? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna mix them up, like like in Sims where you can mix the characteristics of two things, like mom and dad.
Okay.
Sort of that if they
Yeah.
were combined.
Or you mean in real life, like how genetics works?
Oh, there's
Oh my God.
genetics. Are they? Are we?
How do they?
I was gonna make a
Anyways.
joke. I was like,
How do you think children
But how-
are made in this world?
you make it like magically, like you bake them.
Okay. Anyways,
That's how you
let's
get
not
tieflings.
discuss Integrity's sex
I need to look
education.
this up when we get back. I'm gonna go into the library and look this stuff up. I'm confused now.
Oh my god.
So you look like a mix between the first
And the
guard
second
and what?
guard.
Oh, okay. So you're just a hybrid.
Yeah, are really good.
So like the
looking
guard
one.
who escorted artists.
Yes.
Okay. So you have like slight gold every here and there, but not intense, and you don't have golden eyes. And then Mira, you're like very large, like not as big as the surface elemental. Neither one of you are as large as that fellow.
Yeah, you can only be a foot taller than.
Yeah, so both of you are like.
So I can be up to
you're like
6'8".
You're 6'8". That's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And you're 6'2". Congrats, you're literally the same height as Serenep's Integrity. And you split off and go your separate ways. Who's going right and who's going left?
We can go left.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so team Weira goes left,
Mira.
and team
That's
same
the
family
communist version of Shira.
and team same family goes right.
Hey,
You say
And that's
same
where we're
family?
gonna end. Same
Same
family.
family. Because y'all are cousins.
Oh.
you guys aren't
Something,
supposed
I
to
don't
know
know.
that as
Yeah.
characters.
I'm not. This is Sarah.
Sarah's
Sarah and
not a
Mira are the same
character.
people.
No! Mira speaks an octave
Oh, yes,
higher.
you're right. I'm sorry.
People notice that.
Oh
It's
my God.
true.
So good.
And that's where we're gonna end this week's episode. Carla, can you do the outro?
Well, hello guys. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. We have Twitter and Instagram at Trials and Trebs. Give us a follow and find out more about us. We also have a Discord link in there so that you can talk to us. We're fun to talk to, except me, because I don't message people.
She just kind of lurks and reads everyone's
They're
messages.
not
And,
supposed to know that.
And tells
That's
us not
kind
to
of
spoil
weird.
Endgame.
yeah.
No spoil.
Please leave a review on our iTunes. It will help us a lot, and we love to hear what you think. Thanks.
Yeah. Or you could just even like say to your friend, "Hey, check this thing out,"
Check
and
this
then
out.
You see some strangers on the street?
what do you
Just
think
walk over.
about this?
Oh my gosh, this is great. Look at it.
Oh my gosh. Just
Wonderful.
listen to this podcast. Except for this last section where they just make a whiny voice and tell you to recommend it to people. Anyways, don't do crime. Talk to you next week in your ears.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Don't do crime.
Bye.
Don't do crime.
Don't do crime. Don't listen to Sarah.
It's
But you
2
do it,
against
though.
1, Sarah. We win.
Yeah!